There we go. Hello. Welcome to the Holiday Chaos Nail Art stream. I broke a freaking nail on my hand that was my swatching hand, that is my swatching hand, my primary swatching hand. Broke that index nail, snapped it right off, so shortened everybody right in the middle of swatching a collection. Super exciting, but you know, now we have two matching-ish hands to do some holiday nail art on. So that's the plan. Hello, welcome, come on in. So I'm doing, the plan is I'm gonna do Hanukkah nails on my right hand, which is gonna be like hard mode because I am right-handed, but also kind of easy mode because I've already done, basically, I've already sort of play tested the designs that I want to do on that. And then on my left hand, I want to do some Christmas designs. So that's the plan. We're gonna be celebrating multiple holidays. They both happen, Hanukkah starts on the 25th this year. So yeah, and I'm zero religious. I don't celebrate either of those in any kind of religious sense. I just like doing nail art, and it's an excuse to do some pretty nail art. So that's what I'm doing. So I think there's going to have to be a certain amount of back and forth between the hands, because I've selected a lot of magnetic polishes to work with today. So yeah, and for the Hanukkah hand, I don't know if I'm going to do all the designs that I had done. I definitely want to stick with blue and silver for it. I'm not going to bring in any of the gold elements. So if you saw the testing I did for my friend for the Hanukkah mani for her, there were a few different designs that I had done there that a couple of people had asked for a tutorial on those, so that is part of what I'm going to be doing. So I will do those designs on this hand. And yeah, if there's like a specific one that you especially wanted to see, let me know, because that's going to be part of what I'm doing. And then on this hand, I'm going to do some Christmas stuff, and I was kind of a little bit testing. Yeah, so I guess we'll just get started. I don't know if I'm going to be able to manage having my fancy little festive shit here the whole time. I might have to like at least move it partway out of the way here. This is a necklace. Brian got us necklaces. They actually light up, except that mine is broken. So it will light up, but you have to like hold it the whole time. So I took the batteries out of it and decided to use it on my little mini tree that I have up in my studio. So yeah, I'm gonna get my little opening decorations out of the way because they're definitely going to be a pain in the butt. Maybe we can get away with keeping the Christmas lights up at the top there. Okay, so I think you somehow don't have the correct red. What does that mean? What does that mean, Ruby? Correct red for what? I don't know what you need a red for. I'm just going to go ahead and start painting some base colors on that we can build on top of as we go along. So this is, what is this? This is Holo Taco Sunken Secrets from the Dark Rainbow collection. It's such a good green, such a good dark blue. I love this one. God, they do good linear hollows, eh? I think actually I'm gonna have more than one nail that wants that as a base. Oh, you don't have the right red for plaid? Well, You can mix one, can't you? Do you have something you can mix a nice plaid red with? Or for? No, with. With was the correct word. Wow, it's gonna be a good night, y'all. Very first thing I did earlier, like as I was getting ready to set up for stream, was break a nail. Yeah, the OG brush, yes. It's the worst fucking brush. God, I hate it. It's not actually the worst. There are worse. Ah, are you kidding me? Oh yeah, we're doing a good job. We're starting strong. We're starting so strong. Amazing. Amazing. It's a good sign though, because if I do something that awesome right away, then, you know, how much worse can I possibly do during the stream? Steffi Menace asks, do I put my base coat on before I start the live? Yes, I do. I don't feel like y'all need to watch me put on my base coat and just like sit there watching me apply multiple bases and waiting for them to dry, because I use a peel-off base coat before every single mani that I do. And then, so I gotta wait for that to dry, and then I do a smoothing base, and then I gotta wait for that to dry, and then I can start my mani. So I always just do my base ahead of time. All right, so we got a couple of nails that have that as the base. I'll do, come on, this one's, arg, come on, seriously, I just had this open the other day. I swear, I am not that weak. You'd rather watch me paint than mix polish. Well, that's allowed, I guess. Okay, Halataco Shady Navy, I'm going to put on a couple of nails, and then I'm going to do one nail that's a silver base. Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right, I'm going to get bases on both hands, and then y'all can take bets to see which ones or how many get dinged on either hand, since I'm working on both hands back and forth. And that is pretty much a guaranteed situation where I am 100% going to ding my nails. That's okay though. Yeah, so I'm like literally halfway through a collection for swatching. It's a 12-piece collection that I'm swatching. And I got 6 of them done and then broke my index nail on my left hand, on my swatching hand. So I DM'd the maker, and I haven't heard back from them yet. But I was basically like, look, this happened, and just like, they're kind of in a bit of a crunch because like it's releasing in January and there's just not a whole lot of time left. So I was like, well, half your collection is going to have short nails and half is going to have long nails. And I mean, I can go back and swatch the first 6 again. If they want me to, I totally will. I can redo them with short nails. But I have a feeling that they'll be okay with it just because of the way that the collection is set up. There's kind of a natural sort of division in the middle of the collection. There's like, I had done the first 6, that there's sort of a natural break point with the second 6. So I have a feeling that they will not mind if the nails are a different length for the other half. Hopefully they won't mind. Otherwise, I guess I'm just gonna redo the 6 I've already done, which is fine. Not a big deal. Okay, so here's the base coats down for my Hanukkah hand. And then we'll go ahead and get some base coats down for my Christmas hand. Let's see. I think I had decided I wanted to do this gold because it's a bit less streaky. I was doing a little bit of testing and debating between doing these two golds, and I think either one of them would work color-wise. But the Twinkled Tea one is a stamping polish, and it came out a little more streaky when it's brushed on than Golden Dragon here, which is from Abomination. So I'm going to use the Abomination one. By the way, this one I actually purchased. I do work with Abomination and get some PR from them, but this one I actually purchased. But I do have some polishes that I'm going to be using during this stream that I did receive as PR. So just as a heads up, all the Monarchs that I'm going to be using during this stream are ones that I got as PR. Everything else is stuff that I bought. Just so y'all know. You just took off an 8-day peel-off, Kat? That's wild. Couch Potato asked, how long does peel-off base coat hold on me? I rarely attempt to go more than, like, 48 hours, just because, like, if I'm not swatching, I'm doing nail art, and it's like, I don't often want to go that long between manis. So I don't actually care, and I tend to sort of not like prep them such that they would last for a long time. Like, generally speaking, I don't leave a moat around the edges, and like, yeah, I'm for the most part not interested in keeping them on for more than 24 or 48 hours. That said, there are certainly times when I end up not doing a mani for a few days, and these days I find they don't tend to pop on my left hand until I'm good and ready for them to. So, 4 or 5 days is not unheard of. On my right hand, they tend to pop within like 3 days or so, because my right hand's in water a little more often. Oh, look, how nice. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Nice little ding right on the one finish that's going to show it the most. It's a good thing we're putting stuff over top of that. Boy, oh boy. Yes, Ruby, they are both very pretty golds. They're quite nice. I like both of them. I just, it was a matter of which one is going to be less brush strokey, and either one of them kind of works really nicely for sort of Christmassy holiday nails. All right, I want this one. I want... Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's going to be one of those nights, apparently. Dent number 1, we're keeping count. Excellent. Yeah, I haven't tried doing a moat with my Peely base in like quite a long time, actually. Like, it's been probably a year since I last tried to like make a Peely base last for any length of time. Oh, that was really... Oh boy, did I ever just slop a lot on. Do you see this? Have I forgotten how to paint my nails? I only did it like 6 times today, and then I swatched 10 polishes yesterday. No, 5 polishes yesterday, 10 polishes the day before yesterday. I'm doing a fuck ton of swatching. Why? Because I procrastinated. I had a bunch of polishes in my hands for frickin' several weeks. And I was waiting on some like stuff to have as background imagery for a while. but really kind of dragged my ass on making that happen. And the other ones, I have no excuse for not having just gotten on top of starting them. And then I unexpectedly got 15 that I had not planned that were kind of rush. So all of a sudden, instead of having, what is that, 12, 18 that I needed to do within a week, I suddenly had 33 that I needed to do within a week. So, yeah. Did it to myself. It is the dang skinny brush, yes. So this one's Crimson Void, also from the Dark Hollow collection, or the dark rainbow collection. Again, somebody please, whoever's keeping track, that's the second ding. Like instantly. Actually, technically that's the third ding. I think there was one earlier with the blue, the very first nail that I painted, I think. All right, so that's 3 dings so far. You know, that's okay. It's what we're doing today. We're dinging. We be dinging. This one is also from the Dark Rainbow collection. This is Lost in the Woods. Am I you? Apparently today I am, Ruby. Yeah, I think I'm just real tired. My wrist actually really hurts from so much swatching. Yeah, we're going maximum Peggy today. That's right. All fuck ups all the time. All right, now for some Amber Apathy. Again, another Hollow Taco from the Dark Rainbow collection. Oh, I swear to God, I really, I think I even have some of the like replacement wide brushes somewhere around here, and I just haven't got around to actually putting them in. That's okay. I kind of learned to paint my nails on these ridiculous, shitty, skinny brushes, so we'll get through it. We'll get through it. It'll be just fine. Okay. And then what do I want to do on that last? I didn't really like plan out this mani per se. Let's do a second gold one. I'm doing well with the skinny. Thank you, Kara. Yeah, you're right, Ray. I don't do these with full nail very often. I almost exclusively use the linears as like for nail art, the linear hollows. I rarely ever paint them as like a full nail polish. It does happen, obviously, but yeah, not super frequently. Okay. Some of these are going to have I feel like trying to remember what I'm doing with these guys. Okay, I don't think I have to top coat any of these ones before I move on with them. Yeah, Kat, you also learned on them. It doesn't make you hate them any less. It's still like, nope, they suck. I learned on them, I can cope with them, I can do it, but It sucks. Yes, that gold is an abomination. I mean, it's from Abomination Nail Polish. Yeah, that one I actually bought. I'm so glad I did. It's weird, Amber Apathy looks greenish in this light. It is very much a sort of light brown, yellowy brown. You want that, the gold? That one's called Golden Dragon. I think it's available. They don't really do limited edition stuff. Okay, bum 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 bum. I think some of these need a second coat, but I'm trying to remember which ones. I think, okay, so one of these is going to get flakes and a tip. One of them is going to get magnetic and a tip. One of them is going to get swooshies, like a marble. One of them is going to get just magnetic, I think. And then one is going to get a flame pattern. The flame pattern one needs a second coat. And I think the one that gets flakes and a tip needs a second coat. So let's go ahead and get our second coat on. So we'll do the flame pattern on this thumb. Ray, it's poopy. I mean, it's a little bit poopy. I really like Amber Apathy. I think it's a beautiful color, but I definitely understand where people are coming from if they call it poopy. I think it's just that the hollow kind of screws up the hue a little bit, because it pulls it in all kinds of directions. Linear hollow just always makes base colors super weird. Oh my god, my poor other hand is just... she is dry. Okay. Alright, so we did that one, and then... I swear to god, why is this one so tight every time? Do I need to, like, clean? Yeah, I do. Okay. Okay, so it's my fault, is what you're saying. Apparently I need to clean the threads on that cap, but I'm not doing it right now. Probably not going to do it before the next time I need this one. I'm going to end up having the same damn problem again, and then I'm going to say, why did I not clean this? Yellows look wacky on you, Ray. Poopy hollow. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with a little poopy hollow. Okay, do I need second coat on any of these? I should probably do a second coat just because. I'm not cleaning my caps, not even for Ruby. You can't make me. It's against my religion that I don't have. I'm inventing the rules of it right now. I do occasionally clean the caps. Just... I don't... The problem is... I don't like to interrupt my nail art time. Oh geez, I have a second one here. Yeah, exactly, Ray. You can't do it in the middle of a mani because you're just begging for problems. You're gonna ding your nails, you're gonna get acetone on something or thinner, depending on what you're using to clean the threads. Oh my god. I just fully painted all the way into the edge. Look at that. Incredible. Ruby, you're allowed to do whatever you want with your bottles of nail polish. And I will never tell you otherwise. I mean, I might advise you not to stuff them in various orifices for your own health, but other than that, you know, do whatever you want. Care when you've never cleaned the threads? Yeah, I mean, I will once in a while. If it's really egregious and I happen to not be all the way into a mani when I notice it. Yeah, I'm gonna second coat some of these, or all of these, mostly because I dinged a couple of them and it's gonna help. It's gonna help. Whoop. Okie dokie. We're heathens? Yeah, okay. What's going on, Kat? You're working with a weird polish that's pulling orange on camera? Neons are brutal for color accuracy. Even my real camera struggles with color accuracy with neons. It's like such a problem. I have like a... Is that a freaking hair? There's a freaking hair, y'all. Just like a... What is that? Where is that coming from? Alright, well... I don't know. It broke off, so it was probably some kind of a little fuzz that was in the base coat or something. It's a neon pank. Yeah, neon panks are pretty notorious for that. I often find they either go red or orange on camera. I don't know any camera that likes to properly render a neon pank. Okay, second coat of that is good. Let's go ahead with some magnetic action. So I am going to be using my favorite velvet magnetic thingy-madoodle, which I had Ray 3D print for me very generously. So if you have a 3D printer or access to a 3D printer and you want something like this, Ray has several different designs. I think you can just message Ray Diligently Procrastinating, who is currently in the chat. You can message her and she can send you the link for the various different designs that she has. So there's like a design that uses the shorter version of these and with fewer magnets and things like that. It's a couple of different variations. Stephanie Manny's, how long do I wait for each coat to dry? It really depends on several factors. So the Holo Taco linear hollows dry pretty fast. By the time I'm done one hand, it's pretty much ready to do to start again on the same hand, unless I'm doing certain kinds of nail art. But by the time I'm done both hands, yeah, I can go right back to the beginning and I'm completely fine. There are some, of course, that dry a little slower, and in those I'll have to take a little bit more time. But, oh, Ray, it's linked in your profile now? Excellent. Okay, so Ray.diligently procrastinating on Instagram, on her profile. She's my my other camera stopped there, but we're good now. This one that I'm going to put on is Bee's Knees Lacquer, Queen of the Velbaran Fae. This one, of course, is one of those ridiculously limited edition Bee's Knees Lacquer polishes, so unfortunately, if you don't have it and you want it, you're going to have a heck of a time getting your hands on it. I'm sorry. But she is gorgeous. It is a beautiful, rich blue that I've put it over a coat of shady navy because the blue that it has in it is a shimmer. It's a gorgeous, rich color, but it is not dense, and it does not have like an opaque base. So you see that gorgeous color that it's got, it just doesn't come through very, very clean. And so if you don't want to build up 4 or 5 coats of it, you pretty much need to put it over top of another base. And I have done it the other way, put it on its own, and built it up with just 3 coats, and it's beautiful that way, but that's not the look that I wanted to get for this. So the look that I wanted for this is a much more intense blue base. So putting shady navy under it is perfect. It's like a perfect color match for what you want for this one. I have a couple of other silver and blue magnetics in my collection that I tested when I was playing with these designs. This was my test sheet. So this one here is the Bee's Knees Lacquer one, I think in 2 coats. So you can see that the blue does come up a little more as you add coats. But yeah. Dumb question, Ray and Kat from Nicole's Discord. Yes, those are Ray and Kat from Nicole's Discord. Yeah, we have a few people here from Nicole's Discord. Ruby, you're in there, aren't you? Or are you? I forget. It's hard to keep straight. I have several Discords that I'm in, so. Yeah, Ruby, so Neon Noir Nails is also there. Alright, so I'm doing the same Queen of the Velbaran Fae here, but this time over silver. So, totally different look. I am going to put a second coat of this one on, because I want the blue to exist, but I want it to be fairly subtle. So that one's going to end up getting a second coat on it. Probably shouldn't have put these ones right next to each other, but whatever. It's fine. I have a budgie smuggler beside me. Do y'all want to see a budgie smuggler? If there are any Australians in the chat or watching the VOD, I do not mean that kind of budgie smuggler. Yes, she's named after that kind of budgie smuggler, but that's not actually what I'm going to show you. Okay, with apologies to the YouTube chat that's about to get a moment of nothingness.
Budgie. Yeah, what a good girl. What a good girl. Yeah, hi. Oh, I know I have stinky hand. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. All right, there you go. Okay, so there's our first couple of magnetics. And then on the next nail, I'm going to do a marble. So this one is going to get a combination of the base that I used for it, which is the Sunken Secrets from Holo Taco, the silver lining, silver flake top coat from Cirque, who I am mad at about their stupid swatches. And Twinkled Tea. This one, the sticker, it does not exist. I don't know if it ever had a sticker. The gold one doesn't have a sticker either, so I don't know. It's whatever their silver stamping polish is. So I'm gonna use those three, and I need a brush. A brush. Oh, fuck. I swear to God. This just like took a header. I'm gonna use this, which is actually technically a gradient brush, but I find it easier to use this for that kind of brush marble than other kinds of brushes that I have. So through trial and error, I figured out that I wanted, it's, you know, Care, it's just that I've done these designs previously, because I had done, I have a friend who wanted some Hanukkah nails, and so I sat down and I figured out a bunch of designs, and then I ended up really liking them. And so those are the designs that I'm using for this. That's the only reason that I remember. So I had them on my nails like a week ago. So a fair bit of the flake, and then just the tiniest little bit of the silver, because it kind of takes over. Hello, are you gonna actually drip? Hello? Come on. I know. I didn't mean that tiny though. Can you please? Okay, well, apparently not. Let's just, apparently this really needs to be thinned. There you go, little friend. You did it. Good job. Okay. All right, so basically I'm just going to kind of scoop. I don't want to swirl too much because it will overmix. Just gonna scoop and then kind of gently brush on, and you really don't want to overmix these. And it's okay if this is a little bit thick. It's gonna be fine. Okay. So I am going to take away a little bit in one of the real bulky areas. There we go. Hopefully that was enough on screen. I looked up and realized that I had gone way down screen for y'all. I'm very sorry about that. Fa-la-la the brush. What are we fa-la-la-la brushing about? Okay, I'll clean that guy off. And then the last thing I'm going to do with this after this dries is I am going to dab on a little bit more of the flake in a few spots, but we'll do that after this is dried. Otherwise, we are basically done with this nail. Okay, this nail is going to get flakes and a tiny little thin French tip. You have returned from feeding the fur baby. How is fur baby? Presumably he is hale and hearty. Okay, so there is our silver flake. I might end up doing a second coat. We'll see how I feel about it. But that's definitely going to get a silver, just a thin silver French tip. And this nail is going to get a thin silver French tip as well, this one. But not the others. And this nail is going to get a little magnetic flame. So, aw, did he have zoomies? What a good boy. Just gonna take a sip of my cider here. I'm drinking cider tonight, but not the hot kind. I'm drinking the cold kind of cider tonight. The kind with booze in it. Not a lot. I don't know why I took that away. I'm still gonna need that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do with this is one of the ones that several people asked about. Where is my longer, dropping all my brush caps. I need one of my longer liners. Not a super long liner, but maybe a 9mm. Actually, maybe, whoop, shit. I just fully dropped a cap inside a big bin of stuff. Maybe a 15mm. Where's my 15? There's my 15. Okay. Liner brush. So it's going to be a little easier to manage. Yes, hot kind can have booze in it. So hot cider that has booze in it is usually going to be something like bourbon, cognac, things like that. Whereas cold kind that is boozy because it is fermented at the time of making. It's a little different. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make sort of a flame-inspired form with the magnetic polish while I have it in a velvet setup, okay? And because I'm going to be doing this with my left hand, I am working on hard mode here for me because I am not left-handed. So y'all just gonna have to imagine that it's better than it is going to be. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I will show you this first on the mat so you have an idea of what I'm going for. Because as I said, this is one of the ones that people had asked me about. So I'm gonna load up the brush, and I think we've talked about this before, but when you're loading up, especially with a liner brush, to avoid getting that big drippy blob, make sure that the bristles on the inside are thoroughly wet, not just picking up on the outside. So what I'm gonna do is basically do like a curve like that, and a curve like that, and then a third curve on either side, whichever side you feel like that kind of a thing, basically. That's pretty much going to be it. And you can, make that thicker or thinner, whatever you feel like. But it gives kind of an interesting effect on the nail. Now, doing it with a magnetic, obviously you do want to have a little bit of thickness there, so that it's going to you're going to actually notice the velvet magnetism. It'll have some more movement to it, but it's basically going to be that, but then on a velvet. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be attempting to do on my thumbnail with my wrong hand. And we'll see how well it works. keep taking this away from myself, but I actually need to have it. And I'm also going to want to have, I think I'm gonna thin this down just a touch, like 1 drop of thinner to add to here, because I think that's going to help me a lot. So I usually put just a little bit into a cuticle tool and then use that to drip it where I want it. It helps me control the amount that I put on, because otherwise if you're just using the drip tip in the thinner container, it's like tends to pour out a whole bunch all at once. So more control is better. All right, try and load this puppy up nicely, and gonna go start at the free edge and go up. It's gonna take probably a few strokes to get that one line quite right. Okay. And then go back, start at the free edge again in the same area. And I want to come this way a little bit, so I'm not quite in the, not quite off to the side, not quite in the middle. This is going to be my central one. And I want to round this out a little bit. So that it looks a little smoother along the bottom. And then the third one is going to be more off to the side, over here. There we go. And I am going to make that a little more dense there. Okay. She's getting thick. One of the things you got to be careful with, because you're working with a thicker polish, is you don't want to overwork it on the nail too much. So sometimes you can add just, whoop-a-daisy. You can add just a tiny bit more carefully, but sometimes it is better once it gets to a certain point of gloopiness to just hold off and wait for another coat. Okay, that did get a little on the thick side. I am probably going to want to smush that down a little once it's slightly less tacky. It'll require some correction. But that's generally the idea. So it kind of has a nice subtle design to it that's sort of flame inspired. What I was sort of going for with this is like winking at the idea of a menorah without actually painting a menorah, because the friend that I was making this for, she was going to have several sort of various different events, and she was probably going to be wearing it for a week or so, and wouldn't necessarily want to have something that was sort of super, like, obviously an illustration of something. Sometimes you want that, sometimes you don't. So what I just did, because there's a little extra thickness there, was I literally just lifted my finger and very gently patted it down a little bit. I can do it a bit more actually, which when you have an area that's a little bit thick, I find sometimes you can very gently do that and just smoosh it down a little bit and end up having a bit like more even area that doesn't have the same kind of goopiness issues. It'll dry a little better because it's a little thinner. Obviously you have to be very careful doing that. Okay, so that's the flame for that thumb. And we're almost done with this hand already, which is incredible. I'm gonna sip a cider. Okay, that's probably good enough. So yeah, so I just have to do, oh, I have to clean this off. Definitely don't want to leave our brushes sitting there with polish on them. That will not do. Okay. Let's see. This, I want to give a little more dry time before I add anything. This one, I think we can go ahead with our French tip with those two. This I don't need open anymore. So our little thin French tip, we're going to use this foil for both. And I could certainly use a liner brush to do this, but instead I'm just going to very carefully use the bottle brush and don't breathe, okay? That means you, Rosie, don't breathe. Rosie, Ruby. Oh my God. Nobody breathe. Come on. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. It's so close. There we are. That's a little better. Okay. There we go. Just a thin itty bitty little, it's not quite perfect on that end, but it looks pretty good overall, so I'm good with it. Just the thinnest little French tip, itty bitty. Yeah, my brain truly is all done. I don't know where I got Rosie from. Do I even know anybody named Rosie? I don't think I do. I can't think of anyone I know named Rosie. Same thing on this one. Ooh, even harder because I don't have a good angle. Oh geez. Oh geez. Okay, this one's gonna be a little thicker French tip, okay? You know what though? It's okay. It's okay for her to be thick. She's gonna be beautiful. We don't need anyone coming in here and French tip shaming, okay? She's perfect. I just fucking dinged my other hand. Okay, are you okay? You're okay. All right. I'm gonna do a tiny, tiny... Oh, I do know Dr. Rosie, of course, y'all. Oh, you see how stupid I am? I do know a Rosie. I know a Rosie who is nothing like Ruby in any way, although both are lovely people, so I guess they're alike in that regard. Rosie is not here in this stream, and if she was, oh boy, I'd be in trouble. Because I've known her for years. That's hilarious. And I know Kat and May are 100% gonna go back to Dr. Rosie and be like, hey Rosie, guess what? Guess what Albie said? Hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna do just the tiniest little bit of cleanup here. Okay. That'll do. Oh my God. No, Rosie does not walk into walls. She doesn't do a lot of home repair either. Okay. So the only other thing that I want to do here besides top coat is I do want to add a little bit of flake to this, but I want to let it dry a little bit more. It's getting clipped when I post. Okay. I guess I deserve that. In my defense, Rosie has been very busy lately and not talking to us very much. Okay, this other hand needs to have some top coat action before it goes too far into anything else. So I'm gonna top coat this because we're gonna be doing some nail art on all of these nails. I can feel that I just stuck my hand into wet polish on the mat. Oh, thankfully it was just gummy and not all the way wet. Oh, night, Kerwin. Thanks for coming by. All right. There we go. Rosie has been to my house, Maymay. Rosie has been to my house with her husband. And I freaking forgot that I know anyone named Rosie. It's so good. She's never joined one of my live streams. How dare she? That's what she gets for not joining my live streams. There you go. That's what I'm going to tell her if she complains. And be like, well, maybe if you joined my live streams once in a while. Okay, we have top coat on all these babies. Now, let's do our little dabs of flakies on here. Oh, and I wanted to also do a second coat of this magnetic here. Yeah, it's true. Her name isn't actually technically Rosie, but we do call her that. It is her handle. So, I think it counts. Okay, so there's that one, and then let's move this, preferably without screwing anything up, and do our second coat of the magnetic on this middle finger. And then, by the time we're done that, I think the right hand should be, or the left hand should be ready to go with the next stage of things. So, I have several things I experimented with when I was setting up for this stream, but I don't know what I'm going to do on every nail. I have like 3 concepts and then like a maybe, but I have 5 nails. So if people have suggestions, I want to do a candy cane on one nail, a swag of some kind of greenery with some berries and shit in it for one nail. One that's like Christmas lights. I was thinking maybe one with a bow. But I don't know what to do for the 5th nail or to replace the bow if I don't like the bow idea. I don't know how I feel about the bow idea. I guess I could do a snowflake on one nail or something. I don't know. Wrapped present? Yeah, that's not a bad option, actually. I could do that on one of the gold nails. This nail is going to be, this green nail is going to be Christmas lights, for obvious reasons. And I was thinking maybe the swag on this, on the Amber Apathy. Possibly do candy canes on, or a candy cane on the Crimson Void. So yeah, I could do like the bow on the pinky and wrapped present on the thumb. That could be cute. Okay, I think that's probably good enough. The left and right is not a symptom of me being tired and extra stupid today. That's just literally always, I struggle with that. Okay, I think let's start with the candy cane. So for the candy cane, I'm gonna use, I don't have a silver magnetic with a red base, which would be optimal. But you know what would have been perfect actually is that new one from Mooncat. But anyway, I'm gonna use this as my white in the would candy cane not be super visible on Crimson Void? I mean, I think it worked pretty well on the test that I did. I could do it on gold instead, but I feel like it works. Dude! Hi, Ashley. Yeah, I kind of like it on red. It doesn't stick out as much as it might on some others, but I do feel like it works. But yeah, I could do it on the gold instead and do the wrap present on the red, on the Crimson Void. I don't know, what do you think? Any opinions? Should I do the candy cane on the red, or should I do the candy cane on the gold? Or should I do the candy cane on Amber Apathy? I feel like that might be kind of barfy. No, it won't melt with top coat. I've already top coated the base. You don't have to worry about top coat. You think gold? Okay. All right. We will do gold. I like the red with gold bows as well, but I think what I could do... I could do the bows in the yellow magnetic on the red. That could be cute too. I haven't tested that, so I don't know. But I think it would work just as well. And the wrap presents could also be on something else. I frickin' dinged my little French tip here. All right. It could just as easily be the wrapped present that goes somewhere else. So we have options. So I'm gonna do a few candy canes here, I think, since I have a larger area to work with than I had planned. This way. Experimenting on lives, that's what lives are for. I agree. I mean, I mostly don't take... I try not to take much of what I do too seriously, but I especially try not to get too attached to any particular outcome on live streams, because I know that when I'm live streaming, I'm operating on hard mode, because my setup is different, my angles are different, like nothing I'm doing is happening the way that I normally would do it. And so the chances that everything is going to work perfectly are pretty freaking slim. So yeah, I don't worry too terribly much about getting things just right in live streams, which kind of just like frees my brain up to be fine with going off the plan, whatever the plan might have been. Ding number 5. Yes. Okay, yeah, technically I have 3 quote-unquote gold nails, but I have only 2 nails that I consider gold. One is amber apathy. That is not gold. It's not amber either, but it's not gold. We're not going to get into a fight about the way that Simply Nailogical names her colors. We do not need that kind of negativity today. People who live stream nail art are wizards. I need my finger right in my face. Yeah, I mean, I don't have my fingers right in my face when I am not live streaming. Like, I'm kind of just working. I'm actually working straight, flat down on the desk most of the time with my head just a little bit over it, sort of close to where, not that close, well, a few inches above where the Instagram camera is right now. So yeah, I mean, it's a little, the biggest problem for me is that the Instagram camera is where my face wants to be, and it's directly in the view for me to do detailed stuff, so it's a little challenging. Dun 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 dun. What was I doing? So what are we doing on the red then? On the Crimson Void? We're gonna do Wrap Present on the Crimson Void. Is that the idea? I think maybe with gold? What about a gold? Or do we want to do... Because I do really like the red bow on gold. So if we do the red bow on gold on here, then we could do the Wrap Present on the red with the yellow magnetic and the green magnetic. That could work. Okay. Okay, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. All right. All right. I've got it. I've got it. By George, I've got it. Do I want it to be magnetized though, or do I want it to be just like gold wrapping paper and a magnetized? No, that's... I'm not gonna be as happy with that, am I? I'm not. I'm not gonna be as happy with that. All right, I need to do a quick test, y'all. We're gonna actually test something for once. I never test. But we're gonna test. We're gonna test what we do with that red nail. I'm gonna carry on with something else while that dries. I'm gonna do the middle nail because I know what I'm doing with that one. Okay, I was gonna use this for my cord. There's my detail brush. I keep taking my mat away that I use to drop my my test or my bits of polish on, and then I keep cursing at myself and being like, why did you do that, Peggy? Okay, so I am using that Monarch Glasswing Butterfly for this, just because it's sort of vaguely silvery-ish, without being silver per se. I don't really want this nail to have serious silver action on it. So this is more the gold nail. I made that middle one just a little bit too straight, but whatever. That's just how it's gonna be. So that's gonna be my wire that my lights come off of. Okay. I'm not testing the silver stamping polish on this because I don't want silver on this hand. I could do gold on the red. That's one of the things I want to test. But I'm definitely not doing silver on this hand. That's what my right hand is for tonight. All right, so we've got the yellow magnetic from Monarch, the golden, what is it? Golden Glimmer. And this is one of the ones, just for full disclosure, this is one of the ones from the Rainbow Magnetic set that I did get in PR. I wasn't like paid to do anything with it or whatever, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh baby, I am definitely doing Christmas lights with that set. So that's what we're doing here. We're doing Christmas lights with it. It was my very first thought. I went, uh-oh, Christmas lights. Okay. There's the yellow, and then the red. Oy. I swear the contortions I'm going through right now to do this, it's ridiculous. Like, I have my arm like wrapped around the wrong way or on the other side of my phone to try and open and close my polish bottles. I forgot to say the name of this one. This one's Ruby Rush. Alright, I really should have done at least one of those yellows on the other side of the thingy, but that's okay. Does it matter that much? I feel like it doesn't matter that much. I think it's just fine. Okay, there's the red. And then blue. The blue, this is actually a blue violet. It's called Blue Violet Vortex. There's another blue that's more like teal, but I decided that it was not quite, because I already have like the green, and also the Lost in the Woods is like sort of a tealish kind of leaning green, so kind of felt like it was going to be not quite the right color. I do actually wish this one was a little bit more like light and bright for this. I wonder if I should try the Dam. What is that Dam one that was in the Advent last year? Can't remember what that one was called, but it's a paler blue. Maybe I'll try that one. Ruby, you finished 2 coats of red. So you're gonna wait a bit and then stamp. Sounds like a good plan. You're gonna post your mani afterward, right? So we can all see what you did. Do the green. And a green over here. And green over here. There we go. All right, I do want to try that other dam. Every day we're shoveling. Yes, thank you. That is the one. Okay, let me grab that. There she is. Don't know if this one's going to be too pale. It might be a little bit too silvery pale, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. I'll just do like a little thin, light, tiny itty bitty bit of it instead of a big glob. Where's the other ones? Hello? Did I not have? Oh, I did. It's way over here. It's way over here, y'all. It's like right on the edge. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna do another one over here too. Yeah, you know what? That one works really nicely. That was the way to go. That was the way to go. The other one is beautiful, but it is just a little bit too dark for this. So. Okay. You're still doing cuticle care because your left hand needs it? Poor Maymay. It's so rough this time of year. It's really difficult to kind of keep on top of anything. And I know like Florida isn't nearly as bad as it gets up here, but it does still get drier, so. Okay, so there's our little cute little Christmas tree nail. We got half of our candy cane action gone. Let's do a quick little test here. Actually, I'm gonna want this to be over this. So, I'm gonna test this and see if I want to do my present in gold or in this yellow magnetic. And if I'm doing it in yellow magnetic, do I want the green magnetic as the bow for it? Or do I want to do something else? Okay. So there's a little present. And I can do more than one too, right? Let's try doing one yellow and one green. Let's see what happens here. Oop, that was more than I needed, but oh well. I have to be careful dripping polish onto the mat this close to the magnet because it tends to pull the magnetic pigment to the bottom of the mat, and then I have to like stir the blob as I'm picking it up to make sure that I'm getting some of the magnetic pigment. Okay. Well, that's a really bad job of painting, but we'll try those and we'll try the gold as well. So the gold is, of course, not magnetic. This is just gold. Which will probably be cute, but will I like it better than the other ones? I don't know about that. Part of the plan with this was to use magnetics for all of the nail art, elements on this hand. So I would be going a little off script if I did this, but since it's a color that we are using in the mani already, I do feel like it works regardless. Okay, so then if I wanted to do a little green bow, for the present, for the gold present, or yellow present rather. And if I was going to do a green present, I would probably want to do a yellow bow for that, I think. Just do those as little blobbies. And if I was going to do a gold, I think I would use, once again, I would use the green to wrap the present. Okay. So, just get my brush all cleaned off here. So what do we think? Do we like the gold with the green bow? Do we like the magnetic yellow or green? What do y'all think? Which way should we go? I'm going to move on to the next nail while you guys consider what you think we should do with that. The next nail, I know exactly what I'm doing with. You think the green stuff? By the way, Stuff by Stuff Nails is such a good username. Just saying, I really like it. Okay, so this nail I'm doing like a little evergreen swag. So I'm gonna do some lines going one direction, sort of out from a central thing. This is, I'm using the Halotako Lost in the Woods for the first layer of this. And then I'm gonna do a second layer that's using the green magnetic because I wanna get some depth, and the green magnetic has a much brighter look to it. So it should give us a nice sort of dimensional quality. Okay, so there's the Lost in the Woods part. Get our brush cleaned off here. Step by step, day by day. Is this a song that I don't know? Your husband, after your husband saw your name, he started singing Step by Step, and now that's all you think? Okay, I guess this is a song. I don't know it. I need... Here, let's see if I can do it this way. My hand doesn't hurt so much today, so I might be able to actually grip this a bit. So I don't want to do it too dense because I don't want to completely cover up the darker green underneath. I'm just kind of like using it to highlight here and there a little bit. Hopefully I'm not completely blinding either of the cameras with this magnet. I keep blinding myself a little bit, so. It's New Kids on the Block. Oh God. I had a couple of friends that were really into New Kids on the Block when I was a kid, and well, when I was a kid, yeah, it would have been what, grade 10 or 11, something like that. I wasn't a fan, let me tell you. I was not a fan. Okay. I do know a few of their songs as a result of having friends that were super into them, but I try not to know too many of them, you know? Okay, let's go. I'm gonna put a few little red berries on here. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna separate them a little bit. I'm gonna do a couple of little clusters, but I don't want to do all three of the dots or two of the dots, however many dots I'm going to do all at the same time. I want to give them a minute to dry. So I'll do one dot in where each cluster is going to be and give it a minute to dry, and then I'll do the second dot where each cluster is going to be and give it a minute to dry. And the reason for that is that I don't want the dots to like glom together. So if you put your dots right next to each other right away, they have a tendency to just sort of form one super dot, which isn't going to have, it doesn't matter as much if you're using a creme or something, but part of the point of the magnetic is to have a little bit of some subtle sort of depth to it, and that will basically erase it. It'll just look like one big glob. And so if I do them as three separate dots and let them dry a bit in between, then I should still maintain some of that dimensionality. You were in middle school, you didn't hate or love it, it was just on all the time? Yeah, that's fair. I did everything in my power to avoid popular music during that time in my life. I still am very good at avoiding popular music, actually. It's quite fun. I don't even really try it on purpose now. It's just that I don't go to places where music tends to be played very often. Like, I don't go to malls and such. That one was a little bit too small, but I think that's okay. Alright, so there's the second dot. And I think I'm going to do a third dot on this top part and a third dot on the bottom one, but not in the middle one. Alright. I don't know how well that's showing up for you, the contrast. It kind of looks a little dark on my phone screen, but it looks good on my camera screen, so yeah, I don't know how it's looking for y'all. Did I sketch the designs out first? Are they just in my head? I did a little bit of pseudo practice. Normally I don't. Normally I just kind of throw stuff together. But this time I knew I wanted to do a mix and match, and I knew that I was going to be doing a lot, so I wasn't entirely sure how long it was going to take me. So I didn't want to end up, spending half of my time thinking about what I wanted to do. So I figured I'd at least have a few basic designs worked out ahead of time. Okay, so third dot here. Oh, that did not. Erg, I didn't put a big enough blob here. Yeah, my typical method for I think the hollow at some angles is definitely going to sort of obscure it, and also the magnetic, because one of the 2 greens I used on that is magnetic. It's definitely going to change how it looks at various angles. Okay, so did anyone come up with a decision about the gifts? I don't think I saw a decision about the gifts. So the question was, for the gifts on red, do I want to use the gold magnetic with green, the green magnetic with gold, or the gold non-magnetic with green? Or do I want to do a couple of presents? It's going on this nail, so I could probably fit 2. I kind of like the static gold, like the foil gold with green. But if I wanted to do 2, I feel like it's nicer to do both magnetic. Y'all are thinking the gold foil, not the yellow and green magnetics. Okay. Sounds like we want the gold foil. So get my gold out. It does look very cute on the oh, you said you want the magnetic one? Oh, okay. Well, then we'll do the magnetic one. May, you get the most important vote because you let me choose one of your Manny colors on your live stream. Okay, let's see if we can hold this reasonably well. Where's my detail brush? I have too many brushes and various and sundry things just like sitting here off to the side. It's very silly. Okay, and Steph also says magnetic. It sounds like everybody's pretty much happy with the magnetic. So we do magneta. And we're just gonna do 1, I think. So I will make it a little more detailed than the tester was. Okay. I really should start streaming on another bloody platform, though, I tell ya. This thing where I have to have 2 separate cameras recording 2 separate things at the same time, or 2 separate angles at the same time. And like fully edit a recording to put on YouTube after the fact is for the birds. For the birds. Alright, I'm gonna do just a little. That's right, I'm making a 3-dimensional box. Am I gonna regret it? Maybe. But maybe it's gonna be awesome, y'all. You don't know. Don't judge me. Have a little faith. Somebody's got to. I don't know that I have a whole lot of faith in my ability to pull this off, but I'm gonna try it anyway. All right, I'm leaving the edges unfilled because I think that's gonna help define it a little bit. It'll be like a like a highlight kind of thing. I can try multi-streaming. Several friends of yours do that. Live on several platforms at the same time. That sounds crazy. I don't know if well, I don't even know how to set up things to have my laptop have anything to do with the whole streaming process, so I need to figure that out first, but you know, I'm not in a big hurry. It's fine. Couch potato loves polish for the birds. What does that mean? That's a kind of an old phrase. It basically means that's a thing that nobody in their right mind would want to do. Yeah. I don't know where it comes from, but it's definitely a bit archaic. People don't say that anymore. Unless they are old like me. I might regret doing the both directions ribbon. I don't know, that might be too complicated. I guess we'll find out. That's too thick. There we go. I think we'll just do one direction on the top and the side. And then get our little bow happening up here. The bow, I'm not gonna try and make it too fancy. It's just gonna be sort of a, yeah, that could be kind of a bow, sort of a shape. There. I think that kind of works. Yeah, that looks like a present. It might have been better if I had just done it the other way, but you know. No, I am your bird? What are you talking about? Somebody Google "for the birds" phrase etymology and then write what it says in the chat. I can't right now because I'm doing my nails for you. What was I gonna do on my pinky? Oh yeah, the bow. And I still have to finish my candy canes. All right, let's do candy canes first. All right. The candy canes are going to be tough. All right, Ray coming in with our etymology explanation here. Originated in the 1940s as U.S. Army slang and comes from the sight of birds pecking at horse dung. Okay, so it's something that's really shitty, is basically what it is. It's really shitty. It's for the birds. Nice. American English slang term that means something is foolish, ridiculous, worthless, or useless. For example, you might describe something as strictly for the birds if it's stupid, not important, or futile. Or gross, maybe? I don't know. Oh boy, this is where things get a little challenging here. It probably doesn't even matter that I'm using a magnetic for this part, honestly. Don't know that it's quite enough polish getting on here to to even properly magnetize, but too thick. I feel like that's the wrong angle. I didn't do these quite at enough of an angle, I think. And I didn't gap them quite as much as I should have. But we're gonna learn from this one and take what we learned to the next one and make the next one better. That's what we're gonna do. It's funny that that's an American slang term, because there's so many slang terms that I use that people don't know that turn out when I look them up to be British slang terms. So it's funny that that particular one is a US one. You have the saying, it's for the cat, that means the same thing. That is very funny. It's for the cat. I mean, whoa, geez, too much, too much. This is why we do not pour directly onto the polish with the thinner. Okay. Sorry, I'm just thinning out a little bit of polish here because it got a bit too thick. And not in the good way. Okay. Next, candy cane. I like to start the candy canes sort of in the middle. For some reason it's easier for me to figure out where to place stuff if I started in the middle than if I started at one of the ends. Okay, I think this is a little better in terms of angles than the last one was. Okay. Yeah, that one's a little better. And then one more. There's a little bit too much of a gap there. There we go. Okay, I'm reasonably happy with that. There's our little cute candy canes. What if you used a red silver magnetic and used the magnet sticker sheet for the stripes? Yeah, that would be a really clever way to do a candy cane. If you had like what is the new Mooncat one that's like a real pale, almost white silver and red. You could do that with the fridge magnet sticker sheets. That would probably make like an almost instant awesome candy cane. That would be cool. All right, last one I want to do is going to be the bow. Oh God, the wrist is starting to really hurt. I can't hold my wrist like that for long periods of time. I'm getting old. Darth Vader, is that the one? It's one of the ones I didn't get. I picked up the whole collection for my stepdaughter, but for myself I just grabbed a couple. Hopefully stretching that out a little bit helps. Okay, bow. Gonna start in the middle, do a little tiny loop here, and then come out this way, connect the top and the bottom, and I want a reasonable amount of the magnetic pigment here, kind of a decent little glob so that it's going to magnetize nicely, give us some depth, and then on the other side do our little loop. I think I did go a little bit off to the side there, but well, maybe I can probably still sort of adjust this over a little. Okay. Bring that back to the center. I'm seeing something about spood tattoo. Are you asking if I have a spood tattoo on my wrist? Yeah, it's I actually want to get it covered. It's just too small, and it was one of those, like, I finished up a big long project, and the artist and I were both like, what if this? And we just decided to try it out. But yeah, it's too small to get the kind of detail that I wanted to have in it. And it also just didn't heal the greatest because of where it was. And I was at that time working in the lab still, and so I had just like constant water and like ethanol and everything, and so it did not heal as well as it should have. And so between those two factors, it kind of looks dodgy now. So at some point I'm gonna get it covered, but I'm not in a huge hurry to do that. And I don't know what I want to do quite yet. I think I want to actually get something that that like wraps from the wrist up onto the hand, and I might incorporate a millipede in that, possibly. Okay. They are cute. They're just not, they're not what I wanted them to be. So I'm gonna put in something even cuter. I should have just gone much bigger with them is all. And at some point, I will get a tattoo of that species, whether it's in that location or not, because it's one of my favorite local jumping spider species in the Toronto area. Yeah, they're blurry. They blurry. Makes them look fuzzy. I don't want them to look fuzzy. Not like that. Okay, I'm putting just a touch of Crimson Void in that little loop bit to indicate the shaded inner part of the ribbon loop. we go. Is a rotoodle. The aforementioned stepdaughter. Don't tell her what I said earlier, y'all. Hi, Mom. You know, it's going. I'm almost finished my mani. I told them what one of your Christmas presents was. That's what they're not allowed to tell you. It wasn't anything bad, I promise. Except that I might steal your Christmas present because it's gonna be too good. Okay. So that's the bow. And then there's our little cute wreath and our little lights and our little present and then our little candy canes. And then there's our little Hanukkah hand, which needs top coat still. This hand, I'm gonna do a bit of smudge-free top coat. Actually, I'm probably gonna do that on both hands, just to avoid the potential smearing issue with magnetics. But yeah. Okay. Although I could just do... I don't really feel like using that. You know what? We're just gonna pull out all the magnets. Maybe not all of them. We're gonna pull out a bunch of the magnets. You don't need a magnet. You don't need a magnet. You need a magnet. You need a magnet. And my thumb needs a magnet. Maybe I'll do the thumb separately. So I'll just do these two for now. So I will top coat these two. All the magnets. I do have now 4 velvet magnets that I can use at the same time. I don't pull out the 30-pound magnet when I have other magnets out because it's just too fucking dangerous to do that. But yeah, I need to talk to Ray about that, actually. I have already mentioned it, but I need to get back to Ray about a rig I want Ray to design for me with all like 5 spots for, or at least 4. I don't know about the thumb. The thumb is a little challenging to do with everybody else because it needs a different angle. Like, it can't go flat when everything else is flat, and if one of your fingers is like crooked in the setup, then it doesn't velvet properly. So if you were gonna have a 5-finger one, the thumb one would have to be like at a different angle than the rest for it to work. May asks which hand gets which set of colors for your mani. I think you should do cool colors on the right and warm colors on the left, maybe. Yeah, I know you're waiting for the drawing, Ray. I've been swatching fucking so many polishes. I'm just watching too much. I can't. Alright, let's top coat these two as well. They don't need any extra special attention, so... There we go. And then... set that one aside, and this. I have like all of my bottles of top coat that I currently have open are like down to the dregs. I need to just like pour them all together into one bottle and then thin it out. Because I'm like, every single time I grab any of my top coats, I have to put them at an extreme angle to try and get the last little bit out. I go through too much top coat, y'all. It's one of the many dangers of swatching. I don't even necessarily always top coat. Like if I'm swatching a polish that looks glossy already, sometimes I just don't bother top coating it when I take photos because I'm going to be taking it right off anyway. You keep falling out of the stream. Oh, I hate it when the internet is doing this stupid stuff. No, it's okay, May May. I ordered several top coats during Black Friday. Basically, every brand that I ordered from, I also ordered one of their top coats as long as they had a non-toluene top coat. So I have a bunch of top coat. The way that ring is on that finger made me think you had it like a piercing. Oh my god, can you imagine? No, thank you. I am not into piercings to begin with, but to have one on your hand just seems like, ugh. No thanks. No, thank you. I can guarantee that if I did have a piercing on my hand, I would rip it out by accident, an average of 3 times a day. Okay, seal glaze. So I don't have to freaking magnetize when I top coat on this hand. And so that I don't mess up my little designs. I don't think that they would streak anyway, but you know, better safe than sorry, right? Okay, there is our seal glaze. So I will still have to top coat once that has dried, but we have our little candy canes on the thumb. I probably should have done the thumb this way up, but I didn't, so whatever. We've got our cute little gift wrapped present and our little Christmas tree with all of its little ornaments, or lights rather, and a cute little swag with some berries on it and a little bow. And then on this hand we have all of our sort of abstract, sort of semi-minimalist Hanukkah inspired designs. This is what my friend chose, by the way. That's what she decided she wants to have on her nails. But she hasn't got back to me to tell me what day she wants to come and get them done. So she better do it soon, or we're gonna run out of days before Hanukkah. Almost done. Okay, let me make sure I have all of my lids on. You're on, you're on, you're on. You're on. Okay, I think we're good. I don't know if I used enough polishes today, y'all. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna be glad when I'm through with my current bout of swatching, because I still have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 polishes in my to be swatched pile. There we go. All right, we just got a top coat and then we are all done. But anybody that wanted to watch it that was not able to catch it or not able to catch all of it, the VOD is going to be available. I always put the the Instagram version of the VOD up right away. So it should be available to watch within like 10 minutes or whatever after the stream is finished, or less even. And then I will post the slightly edited YouTube version. It might be a little later this time because I have so much swatching to do in the next couple of days. But I'll try and get it edited and put up before the weekend or on the weekend, because it is, you know, festive holiday nails, so don't want to be putting the video up after the holiday is already over. Thanks, Brooklyn Anders. Yeah, I think they turned out pretty cute. We got a couple of good holidays covered, and I'm happy with them. I think they're both really cute looks. Nice little mix and match festive stuff. Makes me feel a little better about breaking that freaking index nail. I'm still very annoyed about that, but you know, it happens. It happens. Oh, I see Colette just went live on Twitch. I don't think I can handle any more live streams today, even if I'm not the one doing them. But maybe I'll pop over there for a bit. All right, thanks everybody for stopping by and hanging out with me. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments or ideas for future nail art or future streams, let me know. You can holler at me in the comments of this once this VOD goes up, or you can DM me or whatever. You know where to find me. All right. You're almost done, Ruby? Show us when you're finished. All right, good night, everyone. Thanks. Bye. Okay. All right, YouTube. I'm gonna give you a little look here. They came out pretty cute, I think. There we go. I really like this one. Good night.